Yeah, I'm on a whole new level. I'm on a roll.
Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome into another edition here of Floor20. Prashit, I want to chuck it over to you. How you doing, baby?
I'm doing bloody good, mate. I'm enjoying my Sunday over here.
There you go. There you go.
Enjoying the Cali weather, man. I've been trying to get outside, trying to do things a little bit differently this week. How about you?
Yeah, man. I'm going all good here, and I do want to dig into what we've been working on over here in Vancouver, but we did want to start the episode here on a bit more of a solemn note and send some thoughts and prayers over to Beirut over in Lebanon. And I'm sure everyone listening has heard of, those terrible, terrible explosions that have happened over there. So we did want to send, our thoughts, everyone, the prayers over to Beirut and Lebanon. I actually just wanted to let people know exactly kind of what's going on over there. So over 135 people have died, unfortunately.
Man.
And actually
I haven't even been keeping up to date, eh?
Yeah.
So good for me to know.
It's actually crazy that the numbers here. And then over 5,000 injured. So hospitals are absolutely flooded over there. And obviously they've been wiped clean. So it's really tough. And in terms of the explosion itself, I do want to bring this across. So it was actually 1.2 kilotons of TNT, Prashit. 1.2 kilotons.
Okay.
And to put that in context for you, Hiroshima, the bomb that was dropped on Hiroshima all those years ago that absolutely devastated the whole city, was 15 kilotons. So this one was 10% of that explosion, which, guys, 10% might not sound like a lot, but if you think of that in comparison to the Hiroshima explosion, this is massive. This is the biggest explosion I've seen in years. So just devastating, and want to send our prayers over that way. I want to ask you, Prashit, did you see the footage of the explosion?
Oh boy, I saw the footage, man, and not to be insensitive, but bro, it looked so crazy that you almost thought it was like some special effects, Avengers. Bro, it was so bizarre to see. Man. You know what I mean?
Oh, I was watching it and I just thought, I can't actually wrap my head around this. How is that a man-made thing that can create such a massive explosion? The way it just blew up so fast, I was like, man, we're actually capable of some awful, terrible things in this world, aren't we, mate?
But it was it was a fireworks factory, right? That went off.
Yeah. I don't think this one was intentional by any stretch, but it just shows what we are capable of. But it's just awful.
And I mean, you were talking about Hiroshima, in Beirut, it was on the waterfront. It would have been, it could have been really bad if it was in the more densely populated apartment buildings or something like that. I hate in these situations to say lucky or thank God that it was here, but man, it could have been really bad if it was internal. And I when I did watch that, it did get me thinking oh shit, Hiroshima, last week we were talking about World War III and shit like that. So I looked into it as well about Hiroshima and everything, and 80,000 people died in Hiroshima, right?
Okay.
And 3 days later, they dropped the bomb on Nagasaki, but 40,000 people died because the blast was contained by some mountains. It was kind of, the city is inside of a valley.
Gotcha.
But I was okay, that was in the 1960s.
Yep.
I think. How bad, or what kind of weapons do we have now? So I did some digging, bro.
Okay. Oh.
And
okay.
So I'm not going to go dive too deep into it, but I'm going to talk about 3 different nuclear bombs.
Okay,
right?
what you got?
And I don't know how many nuclear warheads there are in the world. There's 20,000 or some shit nuclear warheads. But there's a B-83 bomb. I think that was the US. That I think it was just in testing. I'm not totally sure. But when that one exploded, that one. Okay, I don't have any notes on that one. But say there's a B-83 bomb. That's the third biggest one that's been detonated in testing or something.
Okay.
Then the next one was this one called Castle Bravo. And you said Hiroshima was 15 kilotons. Nagasaki was 21 kilotons, right? This Castle Bravo one, it actually reached, let me just double check this. So twice the height, the mushroom cloud reached twice the height of a regular commercial airline plane. So like just like a regular flight. The mushroom cloud reached twice as high. Do you remember watching that that dude that jumped out of like this pod from space for Red Bull? Do you remember that thing?
Yes. Yeah. I remember that.
Yeah. It reached as high as that.
Nah, come on now.
The mushroom cloud. And bro, that was, let me see what this is.
Man, isn't that scary though to think about? Oof.
But bro, okay. Hiroshima and Nagasaki was 15 kilotons, right? That's 15,000 tons.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
The biggest nuclear bomb that was ever detonated was by Russia. Soviet Union was called the Tsar bomb, and it was a testing. They did it like in some remote like coastal region of Russia, so like not near anything, right?
Okay.
Bro, you can YouTube the video footage of this bomb. This bomb was 50 megatons. 50 million tons, bro.
No, wait.
3,333 times the power of Hiroshima.
Nah,
3,000
man.
Hiroshimas, bro. They detonated this, bro.
No.
And just to like grasp how big this is, I can't remember how far away, but like in Norway and Finland, glass shattered from the impact radius. So like countries away. And apparently the shock waves from the blast wrapped around the Earth 3 times. So the same shockwave went around the Earth 3 times.
Stop it.
So that means it was stronger than, bro, you know like when Lake Taupo erupted in New Zealand? It was an underwater volcano.
All those years ago.
Created the biggest lake in New Zealand all those years ago. Apparently you could feel the shockwave all the way in Japan.
No, my
and
goodness.
Imagine this bomb wrapped around 3 times. But I don't know, that just kind of blew my mind when I was reading into it, and I just wanted to let you know and just express like, holy shit, we've got some freaking devices on this planet, don't we?
Yeah, well, I'm actually I can't believe what you've just shared with me, that piece of information. How are we possible of that? I just really hope that, pray to God, it doesn't come to any sort of situation where that type of bomb or explosion needs to be used. That's, man, we have conjured up some pretty evil things, but hopefully we won't be used. But wanted to,
bro, hopefully they are used to if Godzilla comes and we have to, you know, detonate one on Godzilla or something.
Yeah.
Good Godzilla, yeah. Kaiju.
Oh,
have you seen those movies? Yeah.
But yeah, I guess we'll just wrap up here by once again saying that like we just hope everyone is okay over there.
100%.
And yeah, just thoughts and prayers over there. So let's kick it on, Prashit. So tell me about your week that you've had, mate. Anything interesting popping off over on your end, or what do you got going on?
So yeah, bro. Remember I told you that the gyms had closed in Cali?
Unlucky, yeah.
Unlucky us. Bro. So I was like, fuck. I took kind of like a week off, you know, depressed, like just like, let me just feel sorry about myself. Yeah. Like I'm falling behind here. Like I don't think it's gonna come through on the YouTube video, but Devin and I are on a Zoom call right now. I can see the thunder thighs that Devin's been growing over there. He must have been hitting them squats.
I'll pull my pants down right now. I'm gonna pull it down a little bit.
Yeah. But like my hand is getting better. I still can't do everything, but I said, fuck it, man. Let me try calisthenics. Like, you know, like all the body weight movements to like the obviously the basics are just like body squat, push-ups, pull-ups.
Pull-ups, yeah.
But I got this app, bro, and it kind of like it takes you on like a level up course, level 1 to 10, and in order to level up, you have to be able to complete the workout, and by the end of it, you're able to do like you should be able to do like muscle ups with a clap and like like the like handstand push-ups.
That's unbelievable.
And, yeah, bro. So like I've started that, and to be honest, bro, like we talked about this in quarantine when we tried to start gymming in our apartment without like, you know, we're like, if we can't even do if we can't like control our body weight, we have no business being in the gym, bro. Honestly, I'm actually, compared to my body weight, I'm the weakest I've been probably since I was like 11 or 12 years old.
Nah, don't.
Because
Don't
I
tell
can
me
barely
that.
bang out.
That's just tough to hear,
I can barely bang out 5 pull-ups. I can barely bang out 25 push-ups, and I've been able to do, you know, 50, 60 in one hit. Yeah. Pull-ups I've been able to do 20, 25 in one hit. So, I mean, I'm loving this calisthenics thing. It's nice to work out outside in the park, and just kind of like be out in nature and shit. So, Yeah, bro, that's been like the biggest thing that I've kind of gone through. What about you?
Yeah, well, that's. I hope you get up to that level 10 because I don't know if I've ever been close to a muscle up with a clap. So, or let alone just a muscle up.
I'm gonna be dropping. Bro, I'm gonna be dropping clips if I get up to that level.
Bro, you're gonna come back here and just walk into the gym, and everyone's gonna be like, "Damn, who that guy? Who is that?"
Yeah,
yeah. Triple clap.
Yeah.
But yeah. Oh, you know what? I did want to mention actually, guys. All the mentions and comments that you guys have been giving me on my Beats by Dre headphones. I got rid of them, guys. As you saw on the story that I posted, I had to put them to rest. They did a great job. I reckon they were 5 years. So they've done their job. Thank you very much, Beats. I've moved over Apple Gang, so I got the AirPods plugged in right now. I decided to follow Prashit's lead on that one, and they're working an absolute treat. So hopefully they can continue.
Bro, it's a game changer, right?
Bro, honestly, I was just like, I'm just in my apartment. I don't have any podcasts or music, and they're just in my ear all the time now.
Leave them in. Yeah. Oh my god. Like it just becomes you're like an android now.
Yeah.
Like it just becomes a part of you.
Like when we get back to the office at work, I'm just walking around with them. They don't know if I'm listening to music or not. Just part of me.
Well, that's a good thing because then people don't annoy you. But like, we went to the supermarket the other day, and I had just been on a call from work. I completely forgot to take them out, and I was just in the supermarket, checked out and everything. Got back in the car, took my sweatshirt off, and I went. Okay, this is one thing to be careful.
Okay.
If you're on an airplane or whatever, if you take your sweatshirt off with the AirPods, those things will go flying. So you need to make sure you take them off first. And my AirPods go flying out. I'm like, God damn, I didn't even realize I had these in for the last half an hour.
Oh, really? It gets to that point.
They literally just morph. Oh my God, they just morph into your body.
Yeah, exactly, man. So I'm happy to be on the AirPod gang now. So I do actually want to mention something else as well. So this is for our listeners back home in New Zealand. So walking around here in Canada, there's something that's a little bit different compared to back home, Prashit, and I think you will notice this as well. So here in Canada, it's pedestrian first in terms of crossing roads when there's cars or motorbikes or any sort of motor vehicle. It's pedestrian first, guys. And if you can wrap your head around it, when you're 5 years old, your parents tell you to look both ways twice before crossing the road. I'm not sure that's something that Canadian parents even have to say to their kids over here, because literally in Canada, you can just walk across the road at almost any point, and the car is going to stop for you, and that person won't get mad because they know that they are obliged to stop for you, even if it's not even a crossing. And I'm like, when I first got over here, I was like, I just don't get the system. But I don't have a car right now, so I don't mind it. But what are your thoughts on this? Because I just wanted to let everybody know that's very different from back home.
It's so different, and it's the same in the States, bro. And it's not even on the road is one thing. For me, it's in parking lots. I'm the one with the car, right? And I agree with my statements both ways. I'm sorry. I'm the one with the car. If you are walking in front of me, you best watch both ways, because if you don't look and I don't look, you're the one that's going to be worse off. You know what I'm saying?
Unfortunately, yeah.
And it's the same. It gets on my nerves. People that, when it's a traffic light and you have the equivalent. Okay, in New Zealand it would be a left turn, but here it's a right turn. But you know how it starts off, it lets the people walk, but then your light comes on 5 seconds later.
Yeah.
But then people have those, bro. So cars, I have the right of way to go, right? And fair enough, the pedestrian's light is still on, so they can walk. But how about you just look? Bro? Because these people that just start walking straight away with no regard for their own life. I don't know how they live that way. And I actually got into a little bit of a tiff or a little bit of an argument with the missus around this, because I'm in the car park and I always kind of just I like to just push my boundaries a little bit and just keep the car rolling or nudge it a little bit. And I love seeing the pedestrians with their trolleys I'm that dick.
Classic Prashit.
Bro, it's just, oh my God, how?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I was actually going to say that I think I've evolved into that Canadian sense of thinking in that point, because I'm one of those guys that just doesn't even look now. I'm crossing the road and you're stopping for me. So yeah, I got that invisible lat spread going as well, so that doesn't really help. But when I go back to New Zealand,
damn.
I'm going to have to, really adjust because I could just get hit.
You're gonna die.
I could just get hit.
Yeah. You're gonna get clapped.
All good.
Bro.
Well, how about we kick it into some? Or you got something else, or?
Well, yeah, bro. There was one other funny thing that happened at the park, and I actually did forget to tell you one other thing. So I'm over there doing my pull-ups, and I have my earphones in, but then all of a sudden I see this woman just running across the field, and she's got like a backpack on and shit, and she's like fucking hauling ass, bro. And she's running, and I see that she's pointing over. And I think her kid is like maybe 3-4 years old and on a training wheels bike.
Okay.
But it looks like the kid, her daughter, was following a man like out this pathway.
Okay.
And this woman's running. So I'm like, okay, is it her partner, like her husband that's taking the daughter and she's trying to catch up? But then when she gets closer, she starts shouting. And the guy kind of looks back and the whole park's kind of looking. She's like shouting at the guy and shouting at her kid. Then she kind of grabs her kid and like looks at the guy and looks at her kid. The guy kind of keeps walking off, and then he like sits down on a chair. And then the kid starts crying, and then she kind of like snatches the kid in the bike and starts to walk off the other way. I'm like, hang about. Did I almost witness a freaking like human trafficking, like freaking kidnapping? Bro, it was the weirdest shit I'd ever seen in a public place. And like, if you think about it, it's that easy, which is so fucking scary to think about.
The thing is, when
the mum was like on the other side, like
when the kids are that young, you said 3 or 4, did you? So that when the kids are that young, like I guess it only takes a split second to be for something extremely wrong to happen. So it's scary to think about,
bro. Have you ever had an experience around that or seen anything like related to that?
Hey man, I personally haven't, but one of my cousins actually was mentioning a story, and I'm sure she's comfortable if I share it. So like, they were walking in the mall one time, and her daughter was lagging a little bit behind, and she was probably 3 or 4 at this time as well. The daughter, and my cousin turned around to see her daughter someone was whispering into her ear, like an older guy, right? A guy 50, 60 years old was bending over and whispering into this 3 or 4, like my niece, 3 or 4-year-old's ear. And then my cousin ran over and was like, yo, get the hell out of here. Like, you've got no business talking to my daughter like that. So I mean, this guy had some bad intentions in mind, but like, so I personally haven't, but my cousin's been something through that. So it's
God damn.
Gotta keep our eyes open, Gotta keep our eyes open out here.
Yeah, man. Fuck. I don't think I've ever had a bad experience, anything like that. But one thing that did come to mind is when we used to live in the city, not in the country. My little brother, when he was a toddler, because it was a very close community, so all the kids would play at each other's houses and stuff like that. One time, my little brother went missing, but we didn't even realize that he was gone out of the house.
Oh my gosh.
And like, I guess it had been a couple of hours, which is probably not good to say, but bro, one of the neighbors caught us and was like, hey, just wanted to check, did you know your son's at my house just like playing with my kids' toys? I'm like, oh, what the bro, this kid is just the whole neighborhood, like his house.
It's kind of like a cat. It's kind of like a cat, when your cat goes to the
it just goes to the oh my god, I said this kid, but god damn, man. But bro, the other thing that sorry, go for it.
It just reminded me of a story that just literally popped into my head now. So, just talking about places that you shouldn't be, or places that people don't know you are in. When you're really little, like it's all good to go into like the woman's bathroom with like your mum when you're like really small. Like, are you in line with that? Are you in line with that?
Yeah.
Okay. But I think I was getting like maybe to like 5, 6, 7 years old.
Yep.
And I think my mum had to use the bathroom, and I was with her in the mall, and I just went in with her and waited like outside the cubicle.
Yep.
And this older lady comes in, and she's like, "Excuse me, what are you doing in here? This is the woman's bathroom." And I was like 6 years old. I don't know what to say. I was like, and then mum was like, no, just stay out there, Devin, wait for me. And I was just caught in the middle, like, oh my gosh, this is so awkward. And have not stepped foot into a woman's bathroom since. So yeah.
Oh, bro, I like just to tack on to that. I went to a restaurant and it was one of these funky restaurants, and the men's and women's doors for the bathrooms, like they didn't just have the man stick figure and the woman stick figure. They had some other like funky like animals or some shit.
You got it wrong.
And so I got it wrong, bro. I went in there and I didn't automatically click because there was no urinals.
Oh.
But then so I'm in there and a girl comes out of the cubicle and we kind of just lock eyes and both of us are kind of like, what? I go, oh shit. And I'm just like,
No.
get the fuck out of there. You know what I mean?
Oh my gosh. How
awkward
good.
situations, man.
Yeah, man.
Brother, before we get onto the events of the week, I did want to say like my biggest learning of the week.
Ooh.
So with everything going on and COVID and adjusting to a new routine, and obviously like I've been in the States now for a month, had to like get a new routine, and I had like didn't have the gym last week, right?
Mm-hmm.
I found myself working longer hours and then kind of like not making the most of my evenings. And then I was like, fuck, like I need to now make a conscious effort to make sure that I do something that makes me happy every day. Cause like I'm not a gamer anymore. And like I think like even getting like Floor20 up and running, and like we've been trying to go hard on the social game, like, follow, subscribe, comment, all that shit. And that's been taking a little bit more time, but it's kind of just been like work, sleep, wake up. And so I made a conscious effort, bro, to start doing like 1 to 2 hours a day of just like me time. And something as simple as making sure I at least watch one show or TV show with no distractions for the day, or work out, listen to like a podcast, listen to like a book, but make sure I do it knowing that this is like my me time and not just like kind of just doing it in the flow of things. Have you found like that you try to have like me time, or like what's your like me time that you try to have?
Yeah, well, it's so important as well, isn't it? Because like you can really lose yourself if you don't create that time for yourself to really carve it out. Is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
And like, I know what you mean when you get into like this new routine, because when COVID first hit and we moved from working from the office to working in home, I was working very long hours. I didn't know how to control. Work and then switch off and take care of yourself, or, go cook dinner or go buy dinner or go for a walk. I didn't know how to split the two, but it's been a few months now and I'm comfortable with my routine now after it's been 5-6 months to say work is work, do your 9-10 hours, bang it out, and then go do something. And actually for me, we've got a rugby pitch 20 minutes from my house, as you know. I honestly, bro, I've been going down there a lot, like every second, third day, taking kicks at goal. Like I go down there by myself. There's no one else in the park, and I just literally just kick. Like I was never like when I played rugby back in the day at high school and below that as well. I was never a good goal kicker, but like it's the only thing you can really do by yourself with rugby. So like I've just got a bit of I'm in rugby mode right now. So I'm in rugby mode. That makes me happy, and so that's what I do, man. Get out to the park and get a bit of that going.
And that's perfect. That's perfect, man. Because like. What made me think about it even more is I had a chat with an old colleague that's kind of like a mentor of mine. Like I get advice from here like time to time, and he was like late for our call because he had just come from like cycling. He lives in Denver, and I'm like, as long as I've known this guy, like he's always put such an effort into his hobbies, and like that's something I don't know. I think I kind of lost sight of like. Hobbies are important, and like everything doesn't have to be value adding. Like it can just be fun. True. Even like as you get older, you know what I mean? Like, so I was just like, let me just make sure that I do some like fun BS time and make sure that it's not all about, I've got this goal a year from now. And like, it's not about achieving that goal. It's about enjoying every day leading up to that goal.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because otherwise, what's the point? You know but I mean, not to drag it down, but I mean, that's what I was, I just wanted to talk about that a little bit to, everyone, remind everyone.
It's freaking awesome. And you got to carve out time for yourself. Well, we're going to carve into what we've been looking at here this week. So we wanted to start it with there's some
that wet and gushy.
There's some in this house. There's some in this
Oh man!
So basically, we're both in relationships. Let's try to stay in those relationships and not get in trouble with this music video. But so what?
Bro, when you told me you wanted to talk about this, I said, "Oh shit, this is dangerous."
I know. I was like, let's stay in this relationship. So there's some.
Yeah.
So basically, Cardi B, Megan Thee Stallion dropped this the certain type of video. Let's say that is revealing and would get a lot of people going. Let's just say that. Did you
tickle some pickles?
Or did you watch the video? What did you make of it?
Okay, so I watched the video, and honestly, the first time around, I didn't even notice that they had all these cameos from like Kylie and like I think it was a Ruby Rose and like a whole bunch of other people.
Yeah,
but
heaps.
when I first watched the video, I was like, okay, artistic video, like cool house, cool graphics effects. Like, and then, they got some tigers in this bitch. Bro, and then when it popped to the scene when Cardi was just like in a full squat in that black thing with the jugs just hanging out, I said, whoa, what TV is this? How is this not behind a paywall? Like,
oh my goodness, my goodness. This could go on that specific site, if you know what I mean. This could easily go on that site, where you have to.
I said, oh God.
So
damn.
yeah, so it's seriously interesting. But it just got me thinking about a certain question I wanted to ask you around music. So I want to ask you this. So if you had to delete one album from your mind to re-listen to it again, knowing that it's absolute fire, and when you listen to it, at the time that you're listening to it, not 2 months from that time, not 2 weeks from that time, but in that present moment, you felt it so strong. What would that be? What would you delete and then re-listen to?
Okay, so I'm racking my brain right now.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of the best impact first listen. That's what we're talking about, right?
First listen, absolute, just really resonated with you.
Okay, so in recent memory, I'm thinking you've got Justin Bieber Changes, because that's a big anticipation, 5 years, whatever it was, right?
Yeah.
You've got some Drake albums. You've got some Chris Brown albums. Pop Smoke's album.
Ooh.
Okay, so in terms of first impact, because bro, I don't sit down and just listen to albums that often.
Okay.
But surprise answer.
Ooh.
The album that I think surprised me the most on first listen, I'm gonna give two answers.
Ooh.
One was Roddy Ricch's album.
Woo!
Like, I remember the first time listening through to that, I sat down and listened all the way through, and each time I was like, God damn, like, this is something special. You know what I mean? Like, banger on banger. And I remember going into it as we had the box, and I remember I was like a big fan of Ballin' just before that. But then each song just kept getting better and better, and I said, it started off with intro. You know how much I love that shit. So I'll say that, or bro, to be honest, Jaden Smith, bro, his album, I think it was the Sire album with Icon.
Icon living.
Like, bro, that album actually has some joints. Like, the production on that album. Like, if you want a gym album, everybody go listen to Jaden Smith's album.
Ooh,
like,
I hear
that
you, boy.
shit. Like, there's just some bangers in that one. And it was heat and everything. It was very mysterious the way he did it. The titles were played out like crazily. I'll actually send a couple of songs to you from there. That album, actually, Jaden Smith, bro. That shit slapped. What about you, bro? How about you?
Yeah, like for me, it's more of like an album that I listened to for the first time, but it wasn't in real time that it was released, and I still feel like that falls into the criteria because it was still the first time that I listened to it. So I'm gonna go with a '90s album because you know I love the '90s stuff. Nas Illmatic. The first time I listened to that.
If you hate me now, is it that one? If you hate me,
that's not that one. It's not that one.
Oh, it's not that one. Okay.
I think it's even before that one. So this is I'm pretty sure this is 1994. So the year I was born. So obviously I didn't listen to it in real time. But like, man, what they've got? It's got like Life's a Bee, Life's a Bitch. It's got like Halftime, It Ain't Hard to Tell, World Is Yours. So like all of those songs for me, like not in the club songs, not workout songs, but like just hit the feelings. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I'm gonna go with Nas Illmatic. I like Nas because he was around with like Biggie and Tupac and Jay-Z back in the day, all that stuff. So like he was like one of the guys that I like really like listen to anyway, and so I just felt like that whole album really helped. It was only 10 tracks as well, so like
heavy hitter.
I think that plays into the category of what I'm talking about. Only 10, all great, and man, I absolutely loved it. It was sick.
Bro,
I highly recommend everyone back home Nas Illmatic.
I'm definitely going to listen to that because I actually haven't listened to a lot of Nas. But there's actually one song that I talked to you about this maybe a year or longer. So you know how like J. Cole's got that one song Wet Dreams where it's the music video is about the puppies. Yeah, that's a really like it's a story, right? And it's a really graphic, vivid song. And like if you close your eyes, you can like almost see the scenes. There's one song that, in terms of a listening experience, I don't think I've had a more vivid experience. I remember listening to this song on a plane, and it just really teleported me in, and I literally felt like I watched a movie. And I don't know the name, but it's Biggie. It's that one that goes dun 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 dun. Dun. It's the one where he's talking about smashing the Knicks player's wife. Or the Utah Jazz player's wife or something. Do you remember this one?
Oh, bro, I'm drawing a blank here. I can't.
I think he was smashing like John Stark's wife or like something like that, and he talks about like being, but it's very vivid. Like he's and it's acoustic as well. He talks about being at her house and like they're going at it.
Bad boy, Biggie.
Then the player comes. The player comes home after the game and he's still in the house. Then I think he pulls his gun on him and shit. Like, I'm going to drop the title here, but that song is... Hang on. Actually, I can Google it in 1 second. This is the beauty.
Wow, bro. No, I like Biggie, man, but like, give me the name of that song and see if it like brings back something for me.
It is... I Got a Story to Tell.
Oh, bro, that's a sick song, bro.
I got a story.
That's a sick song. The melody in that song.
Oh my god, it gives me tingles, bro. I'm gonna use that. If you guys follow us on Instagram, you're gonna listen to that. Listen for that in a clip. We're gonna add that into one of the clips this week. Oh
there you
man,
go.
that shit.
There you go.
But bro, on terms of WAP, this actually made me think about another thing. So, as guys, there's way more artists, right? And I'm a fan of R&B, so, you listen to Chris Brown and Usher, and, bro, they give you some freaking vivid, like, imaginations of what they do, like, when they're macking. And it's almost like, okay, obviously they're not singing it to us, but why do we resonate with the song so much? It's because I guess we almost put ourselves in their place, right? Like, because otherwise it's like, why is Chris Brown talking about diving in my ocean? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's he's singing to a girl, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I'm not gonna lie, when you actually sit, and Nicki Minaj did this a lot as well, if you actually like listen to lyrics like WAP and you just sit there and just listen to what Cardi's telling you and what Meg's telling you, bro, that shit gets you going. Like, that shit, like, not even the visual, not the visual. I'm talking about the audio. Like, they are some graphic women. So that was a very interesting experience for me to go through. You know what I'm saying? I wonder.
Yeah, I hear you. And I mean, if you combine the lyrics and then the visuals as well, it's almost like I'm not going to watch this more. I didn't know I was doing that.
Subconscious. Huh?
Yeah. Maybe it's time to, we keep on moving. We keep on moving.
Oh, man.
Okay, talking about, visualizing things and putting yourself in that situation, I've got a little story I wanted to share with you. I'm going to open my book.
Got a story to tell.
So. Yeah, I got a story to tell. It revolves around psychedelic mushrooms. Appreciate. So, the Canadian government are allowing people with terminal cancer to legally consume psychedelic mushrooms as part of the end of life therapy and just treatment, really. So, one study, the reason for this is that a study showed that it reduces anxiety, depression, and just hopelessness, I guess, around their situation that they're in. And it's the first time the Canadian government has legalized psychedelic mushrooms for any human. So I just wanted to know, like, thoughts on that. Like, should we be doing that for humans, like legalizing a proven drug like that?
I'm pretty sure in Oregon or Washington State and Oakland County now, psychedelics are legalized for therapeutic purposes. And
really?
I'm pretty sure they've actually been using it to treat soldiers for PTSD for a while now in the States.
Oh, actually, I didn't know that, eh?
And
interesting.
Someone very close to me has had an experience with mushrooms before, and so let me just tell their experience.
I got a story to tell.
But I don't, bro. That's natural. Like, it comes from the earth.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It comes
like,
from the earth.
I mean, obviously there are ones that are poisonous and can kill you, but like, if you go back to like legislation and people getting involved, like, humans have been brewing alcoholics, have been eating plants, smoking plants, have been like using still to this day conservative people, like you'd say Indian grandparents or whatever.
Right.
Maybe they feel bad about people, I don't know, smoking weed and shit, but then they've been using natural remedies and Eastern medicines for forever. Like, you know, turmeric and garlic and do this and do that. Like, so I'm saying it's from the earth, baby. Like, we all want. We are the world. You know? Like,
oh, MJ, I see you, boy. But like, I agree with you. If something is from the earth, if something's from the earth, surely, bro, like, it's better than something that has been like chemically produced or man-made.
It's vegan, bro.
We see yeah.
Come on,
we
now.
see a lot of people out here indulging, let's just say, in some non from the earth drugs. We've kind of seen it out here, and honestly, man, I don't have a problem with this, and actually, like, a lot of the reason is that these people actually have terminal cancer as part of the story. So like, unfortunately, these people are on their last legs, and like, it just provides them with some hope and happiness in their last, year or 6 months, whatever the case may be. So I'm actually all for it. I'm all for it.
I'm all for it too. And because, bro, a lot of this shit, it's honestly like, it's just like propaganda. Like, okay, this might be incorrect, but I'm pretty sure I'm right on this. Around the same time as Prohibition, when they made alcohol illegal, they also made like marijuana illegal or something like that. And then around that time, I think big tobacco started coming in, and they legalized alcohol again, but then they just kept the laws in for marijuana. And you know how like you get certain big corporations can like lobby politicians to keep certain laws in and whatever. They just kind of made tobacco this thing and made marijuana this like hippie, like dangerous thing. Say no to drugs, but pushed up tobacco. But what's killed more people? So I'm saying, think for yourselves, people. Do your own research and think for yourselves.
Yep, totally. And there's no harm experimenting. I just chucked it out there. So I mean, going off sort of that as well, I wanted to talk about places. Well, you know what? I've seen people on my Instagram feed, some of my close friends, traveling around Europe right now. Like, people that might be living in the UK and they're going to different little countries that are close to the UK. And I'm like, okay, so some spots are open now. These spots are open. And so I wanted to share with you that the top 3 spots in Europe that people are going right now, and the borders are open, and like, tourism is definitely required for these countries to be prosperous and successful. So Georgia, number 1. Greece, number 2. Croatia, number 3. And for me, Prashit, like, my biggest regret from when I was living in the UK, there was 3 countries that I wished that I hit. And actually 2 of them are included here. Greece, Croatia, I never went to. Like, it all looks beautiful. And then Portugal was the other one that I missed. But like, these 2 spots are open. I wanted to ask you, like, where are you going first? Georgia, Greece, or Croatia, if you had the chance?
I don't actually know much about Georgia, but I'm going to Greece. Greece has always been on the top of my list. Number 1.
Okay, Drake.
Okay. But not just because of the beaches and whatever, but I've always just been fascinated with ancient Greek history, you know, like Athens and all that shit.
I see you, boy.
Yeah, that's it, baby. But bro, I guess Europe has its own thing. America's obviously completely constrained to where they can travel, but there's I've seen the same thing. A lot of people have been traveling to the Caribbean, bro. Turks and Caicos, and like Puerto Rico. They've got like all these standards set in. You have to like take testing 3 days beforehand, test again at the airport, test again when you land, test again at the hotel. So it's all like as safe as possible. Mexico, bro, I do want to get out, but it's just like, I don't know. Number one, if you catch something, you're done skis. Like, you're stranded somewhere in quarantine. My cousin just flew back to New Zealand, and at the time, New Zealand was doing from Australia, and New Zealand was supplying like free 14-day quarantines. I think New Zealand might start charging soon, but when he flew back to Australia, he had to pay for his own 14-day quarantine, bro, before he can and it's all locked down by police and everything. So like you're just in a hotel for 14 days, you have to pay for it. So I mean, that's the other part of it is like, shit, if you catch something, is it worth it? And I mean, on the off chance, fuck, if you're in a foreign country, bro, and maybe you do get a little sick, like access to healthcare, all that shit. Like, I don't know.
We're still not past it, are we? That's the thing. Like, we're still not past it, and I'm not gonna pass any judgment on anybody that's traveling. Like, good on you. Like, live honestly, life, if your belief is that you need to get out there and travel, like, it's fantastic. Everyone, like, each to their own. I think I'm gonna hold off for a little bit. I'm going to hold off for a little bit because, like, exactly what you're saying. Like, let's just let it clear up first a little bit, and then we'll crack on.
And we've both had experiences where we had to pull the insurance card because of health reasons while traveling. And we might talk. We have talked about these stories before, but I think we're going to dive a little bit into one of the side stories later on. But I mean, that did open my eyes. Like, you're doing. Travel insurance is important, people. Travel insurance is important.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah,
literally, almost pretty much saved my life. Really.
Yeah. Exactly.
Back in the Vegas story a few episodes ago, guys.
Yeah, bro. But keeping things moving. We've got a few things to talk about. Did you want to talk about Umbrella Academy or nah?
I reckon we can leave it for another time.
Another time, alrighty.
Good show.
Well then. Yeah, I haven't actually watched it, so maybe I'll watch it and we can touch base on it. But another world in the thing of TV, something that we kind of missed touching last week was Ellen DeGeneres, right? So like, she's kind of getting cancelled for mistreatment, like being a mean person, basically. And there's been talks of like, is she going to come back? Is James Corden going to replace her on her show?
Wow, it's actually big, isn't it?
Yeah, and there's been a lot of stories coming out, and like a lot of people saying that she is actually mean and an asshole. And in Santa Barbara, where she lives, like, or the community, a lot of people don't say she's nice and stuff like that. But then there's also like producers of her show have stood down because of sexual assault allegations and shit. So there's more going on behind the scenes of that show. Now, I have two kind of things to say around this. So I have been to the Ellen show twice.
Hey, there you go.
And wait, twice or once? Twice, I think. Yeah, I've been to the Ellen show twice, and I think
Sick.
And I've also been to Conan O'Brien talk show. Right?
Oh man,
two very different experiences. Conan's was a lot better. You didn't have to line up way in advance, stand in the sun. They didn't like make you line up in the gift store so you buy something like. And when you got in there, everyone was more friendly. Staff was more friendly. Conan is unbelievably friendly even when the cameras are off. And it was a different experience with Ellen, and I really loved the Ellen show. I would not sit down and watch the whole show, but I'd love watching her clips on YouTube and stuff, like good vibes, good energy.
Okay, yeah.
And I went in and I was a little bit disappointed because like it's almost like she would just turn it on as soon as the camera would come on. And in between takes, she wouldn't interact with the crowd. She would kind of just go away and come back. And I think here's my perspective. I walked away from that episode thinking, damn, like when you really look at it, she really seems money hungry. Like she pushes all her own brands so hard.
Ooh.
Like her slot machines in Vegas, her like bed linenware, her plates, her makeup, her apps, her games, like everything's just like product placement. But
Gotcha.
Get your money. But then I was like, oh fuck, is she just like mean as a person? And I thought, yeah, maybe she is. Maybe she isn't naturally warm. She's obviously nice because she does a lot for the community and she does a lot for people.
Yeah.
So I think maybe she is just one of those people that is just naturally maybe not overly nice. Like people give stories about like The Rock or Kevin Hart, how they're like really, really nice people. But
Yeah.
I don't think that should mean that you lose your job just because you're not as nice as people expect, or even if you are a little bit rude or a dick. I don't know if you should get fully cancelled for that. You're not breaking any laws. Maybe you just apologize and try and improve and keep it moving. But what do you think, bro? Like, do you think that warrants like all that attention and like that kind of thing?
Well, I'll start by saying that I'm like myself. I'm not the like biggest fan of Ellen and the Ellen DeGeneres show, but like I did watch like clips of when like sports stars were on her show, and they'd have like funny clips of them getting scared or just talking about their career. I would enjoy watching those clips. And so, like, I just don't know, like, if that was the reason that it was cancelled because she's not a great person, or like, was there another reason behind it? Because that's definitely not enough to cancel a show, in my opinion.
So it's not completely cancelled yet, but outraged people are trying to cancel her because she was a dick to a lot of people, and she's rude. But also because producers of the show had some misconduct. Right.
Well, if all this is true, which like from all sources, like it is true, from what you're telling me and from what I've read as well, like it's just a bit of the old karma situation, isn't it? The circle of life kind of thing. You know, you gotta put whatever you put out into the world, you're gonna get back, to get philosophical on it. And so, unfortunately for Ellen, she's chucked out some negative energy and she's got a negative outcome coming back to her. But you know,
Bro,
yeah.
But here's another like little tidbit. When you watch Jimmy Fallon, he's actually like friendly as fuck on his TV show. Like, like it's just 100% friendly. During the show, it's not like Ellen is. She's not the most warm, like friendly person. Right. She actually does show her like comedian, like short, quippy side. Like she is a little bit like, and I mean it's kind of like comic. It's a comedic. It's she does portray a little bit of rudeness on the show, but because she's liked, it comes across as, oh, she's just Ellen. You know what I mean? But I think now it's just getting flipped.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. We'll see how that goes. I hope she doesn't get cancelled because I think she does do more good than the bad, and it's not like bad stuff. So,
and not everyone's perfect either. And also perception is reality as well. So
exactly.
Hey,
there we go.
Hey. All right. So, what are your thoughts on hitting the sporting arena? Are you ready for it?
Yeah, bro. Let's get into it. Let's wrap up the show with some sporty. Oh, actually,
right, sweet as.
Are we going to do story time first? What are we doing? With
story? Are we
doing
NBA
our little
story time? Is that what we're doing?
NBA story time.
Oh, okay. I was gonna jump in, and I'm so excited. Okay, guys, the story time is we're going to share our experience of our first two NBA games that we went to together, Prashit and I. Okay,
in person, yeah.
So, in person. So first game was Clippers versus the Nuggets. These were both in early 2015, guys. Yep. So back-to-back nights, Clippers versus Nuggets, and then Lakers versus Wizards. And so for the Clippers game, we decided to sit right at the back, Prashit, just book some cheap tickets. Our first NBA game, just get in the arena pretty much.
Yep.
So we get to the doors very early. Yeah, really cheap. We get to doors very early, guys. We're the first people lining up because we're so excited to be there. It's Staples Center. It's LA. It's like pretty much our first. It is our first time. So, and then this very nice lady is lines up behind us.
Unbelievable.
And here's our accent, and she asks us, you know, where are you guys from? And we give it the old, g'day, we're from New Zealand. We give it that one. And she's like, oh, you're from New Zealand? This must be your. Like, have you been to many NBA games? We said, this is our first. Mm-hmm. And she says, well, let me take care of you. So instead of sitting in the back, she takes us to the
gushy,
bloody corporate boxes of Staples Center.
Oh,
man,
baby.
how good was that, bro? How good
What
was
an
that when she told us that?
Bro, it wasn't like for the first game like for your experience, and we were poor students at the time, like just coming from the top to like, oh my God, it was just the views were fucking insane. And like, just to add, we started off the day great because we walked around the arena and there's like all this like ex-player like merchandise or training kit, and we both copped some shit from like ex-player shit, and then we took a nice pic with the Clipper ladies. And then a little side note story, years later in Vancouver, the Clipper girls are in Vancouver and Devin meets one of them again. the same one. What a small world. But
I saw her again. I said g'day.
I remember that day was like it got flipped on its head so far because you were starting to feel sick. We checked into our bullshit ass hotel that we mentioned last week, nights in. We freaking got in the Greyhound after a night out. Greyhound are these ghetto ass buses and smells like shit. And like we freaking got off in some shit part of downtown LA. We were like, oh, let's just drag our suitcases and see the city. So we walked through Koreatown with our suitcases. And then we're like, okay, we've got time to kill. We didn't do any research of LA. Like now I'm a Rolodex of LA. You want to ask me, I got you. But we had no idea. So we get into an Uber and we're like, can you take us somewhere for shopping? And this Uber driver, there's so many beautiful malls and things we could have gone to. This man takes us to downtown LA, neighboring Skid Row, freaking crackheads everywhere, needles everywhere. We got out of the Uber. We got in another Uber like this quick.
Man.
Bro. And then we went, then we got to see some of the finer things of LA. We went to another area, which was just, can I say, a little bit, upper echelon. And like,
the finer things. I hear
I'm the Don. But like, yeah, bro. So that Clippers game was sick. I think I can't remember even the result of that, but I mean, Lob City, like
the Clippers won in a close one, but we saw a CP lob to Blake, a CP lob to DeAndre.
Beauty.
Wilson Chandler balled out that game for Denver. Oh man, good memories watching it from the corporate box. Man, they gave us drinks, like they gave us food. How good was that?
But then the show, then the show. For those of you that don't know, Staples Center and the Lakers and the Clippers play in the same arena, but they redecorate the whole shit when it's a Laker game. And can I tell you, pay the extra money and go to a Laker game, because this is a show, people. This is a show. First of all, the presentation when it's a Laker game, you see the statues, Shaq, Jerry West, like everyone's there, right? Then you walk in, everything's just more, it's just more popping, bro. Like everything was just more popping.
Oh, man.
And this time we're feeling ourselves, we're buzzing because, baby, we got them courtside second row seats, baby.
Second row, baby. We were 21 years old, second row at a Laker game. There we go.
We get in there. It's unfortunately Kobe was injured, but the Laker crew was still there. I got to see my friends John Wall, and if I can find the video, I'm a freaking put it in because we went early.
Hey, John.
Hey John. Like, bro. Okay, so now we've been to many games, and like now I've had a lot of you could say like celebrity interactions and stuff. So I'm more keen with it now. Like I met Diddy. I met like some different actors that have been in shows. I've met NBA players on the street. But that time, that was like our first time being, in Hollywood and shit. Bro, John Wall was like my favorite player, or second favorite player. When he waved back at us, you could just hear us go, oh
my God.
And then
these two idiot Kiwis yelling out at John Wall. And I remember this moment vividly. John just literally turned his head over and gave us a quick little wave, and we just lost it.
Mind you, I'm like, in the Lakers arena, I'm the only person in there with the John Wall jersey. We had that connection, man. We had that connection.
I remember there was some guy yelling out in the crowd, bro. He was like, John Wall's got bricks. Then you're like, John Wall's got buckets.
So I was ready, bro. And then we yelled out, it's like Meta World Peace that game. We walked past Kareem Abdul-Jabbar that game. And then the Coup de Grace, the childhood crush of all crushes, Charlie's Angels.
Oh my gosh.
We were yelling, Cameron Diaz, homies. It was Cameron Diaz.
Diaz smiled at us and waved at us.
And we
Life
lost it.
equals complete as a 21-year-old. Oh my goodness, guys!
It was
the
like
highlight of the game.
it was the same reaction you'd get from watching the WAGs the video was the same as when Cameron waved over at us. Like, I gotta tell you, and I think I've got the video of that as well. If I can find that shit, I'm gonna drop that shit in here.
You got the video of that? Bro,
yeah, I got the.
Please let me relive that.
Cause bro, we're yelling out, and then when she waves over at us, smiles at us, we can just hear us both go, "Oh, oh man, what a day!"
Wow,
bro. I've gone from that like or whatever to I've gone from that to when I met DeAndre Jordan, I was just like, "Hey yo, DeAndre, what up?" Looks at me, that kind of thing. To like. When I met Diddy, we were on a hike. Literally, I don't know what came over me. I go like this. I go, "Hey, yo, what up, baby?" What the fuck? Then Diddy takes his
part of his crew, bro.
Bro, he takes his glasses off, licks his lips, and because he's all jogging and shit, takes his glasses off, licks his lips, and he's like, "Hey, what up?" And I'm like, "Yeah, what up?" Oh my god, it was like. I don't know. I just like switched into this mode, bro. Like I don't know what the like. Do you know who Zachary Quinto is? He's
I don't.
He plays in Star Trek the movie. He plays Captain Spock.
Okay.
And bro, I met him on the New York subway, and like I was with my girlfriend. We were going into the subway, and Zachary Quinto was with his husband or his boyfriend. And I literally I was just like literally in passing. I'm like, "Hey, yo, Zach, love your work." Dap him up, keep moving. And Girlene's like, "Was that your friend? Like who was that? Like, what the fuck?" And I'm like, "Oh, no, it's just that guy, you know." Bro. So I'm Hollywood now, baby. I'm Hollywood now.
Bro, you know what? You're there. I think I'm going towards your realm, but I'm not there yet because there's two that I want to share now that we're diving into this. So. One, I was in Vegas last year at like a pool party. I went to a thing called Summer Splash, which is like 5 pool parties over 5 days. It's pretty nuts. It's pretty nuts for everybody.
Hangover Central.
Oh my god, it's tough as a mid-20s person. But I saw Norman Powell from the Toronto Raptors, bro, and I think I've told you the story, but I want to tell it again. So. He was leaning over a human of the female gender, leaning over her, really trying to put some work in, let's say. He was really trying to put some work in. This lady was not having any of what he was saying. And then the story is actually that someone threw up in the pool and they had to evacuate the pool. So everyone jumped out. So Norman jumped out. I didn't want to actually like interrupt him while he was trying to, lay some foundation. Yep. So I let him do his thing. It didn't work. But when he got out of the pool, I chased him down. I tapped him on the shoulder. I was like, "Yo, Norm." I was like, "Yo, Norm, congrats on the championship, bro." Tapped him up, bro. I tapped him up.
Oh man.
And then the second one is. Yeah, one of the boys. And the second one that I wanted to share is actually Cole Sprouse. I saw him after the Sevens a couple years back. Maybe I've shared this before. I can't remember with you guys, but I want to share it again. So I saw him late at night, 3:30 a.m. on a Saturday night.
Nothing good happens after 2 a.m.
He tapped me on the stomach because I was wearing a Santa outfit for the Sevens. And he goes, hey, it's Santa. Okay. And I was like, "Yo, what the hell?" And then I didn't recognize who it was. And then he walked about 20 meters down, and one of my mates said, "No, that's Cole Sprouse." And so I was like, "What?" Bro, I turned around. Bro, I gapped it, bro. I lost it. I went back to the 21-year-old days. I was like, "Fuck this." I ran over to him. I was like, "Yo, Cole Sprouse, I'm from New Zealand, bro. I used to love Sweet Life of Zach and Cody, bro. Sweet Life on Zach was awesome." And he was like, "Yeah, man. That's great." He's like, "That's great. That's great." And I took a little
That's
selfie
great.
with him.
Get the fuck out of here. It's great.
Yeah. Bro, I should have asked him to come back. "You want to come back to the crib, bro? Smoke a little bit, you know what I'm saying?" But no, those are the two that I wanted to share. I'm not at your level yet, mate. Not at your level.
Oh, man. It's Hollywood P, baby. Hollywood P.
Yeah.
That's the one.
Do you did you want to touch on the NBA with this week? It's been a bit more of a quiet week, or should we?
I think maybe we should just keep it moving and almost wrap it up, eh? I think we've come up on an hour now.
Yeah, this one went quick for us. I did want to quickly mention before we wrap up that stay strong to all the people in Hamilton and Waikato. Chiefs per sheet went 0-8, so they finished the season. No wins throughout the whole season. Super Rugby Aotearoa, which is tough viewing. I watched most.
I was actually born in Auckland. How are the Blues doing?
Blues are gonna come second this year, so you got that. You got that. Anything you want to share before we wrap up, bro?
Nah, man. I think we've been putting in some hard effort into growing our Instagram page and trying to grow the YouTube, and I think it's growing slowly, which is good. If anybody, DM us if you want to hear us talk about anything. Definitely let us know. But if it can really help if you share like a clip that you find funny to one person. Like just share anything. Help us grow. We're gonna stick this thing out. See how big we can get. Like, comment, subscribe, share, all that jazz. Devin, take us home.
Yeah, guys, and to echo Prashit's sentiments here, we're trying really hard. We're trying super hard to provide this nice content for you. And if you think something's funny that we mentioned, or you want to just jump in on a conversation, literally just chuck it in the comments of the video, and we'll get back to you, and that helps us grow as well. So, guys, you guys are the first initial group of Floor20 family, so we appreciate you guys a lot. Hit us with all the good stuff, and we'll check you again next week. See you later. Have a good one.
Later, boys.
I'm on a whole new level. I'm on a roll. You see how it goes. MVP and man so wavy. Champ like Brady. Boss like Jade.